Hello and welcome to the Advanced C1 Conversation and Listening course. I'm Casey.
I'm Irene.
Cool. Irene is here to help us, I think, make the lesson a little bit easier and give an opportunity to practice the language, and maybe, hopefully, she will make a mistake and I can correct her. That way we can learn, all right? So today we're going to talk about our language experiences, okay? I'm English, British English. I speak Spanish. And Irene?
I'm Spanish and I try to speak English.
It's kind of American, her English, but we won't talk about that awkward fact. So, Irene, how did you learn... That's funny, isn't it? How did you learn English? It's so difficult. How did you learn English? Sorry, let's do that again. Irene, how did you learn English?
Do you mean like proper English?
Proper English? Sure, whatever.
After school, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I learned a lot of English by practicing, because there was a moment in my life that I was very into English and its culture, and I wanted to get to know more people. And then I just started hanging out with more English people. And then, that was the beginning.
So you learn by practicing?
A lot.
Learn by practicing a lot.
Also, I studied English literature, okay, but that is a different field, it's very specific.
Irene basically is skipping about 10 or 15 years of her education to tell us that she practiced. But that's fine. Ask me.
Okay, and what about you? How did you learn Spanish? So good?
Well, so well.
Oh, so well.
It's okay. I learned Spanish. I mean, it's a really long story. I began with Duolingo and with Josh. Josh was actually teaching me how to speak Spanish. And then obviously I came to Spain, and so I've had a lot of conversations. But I would say I studied it, I practiced it a lot, and it really helped to have real experiences. So, my life is in Spanish. I have Spanish housemates. I live in a Spanish house. I speak with Spanish people. My friends are Spanish. I run a business in Spanish. I made a magazine in Spanish. I try to do everything I can in Spanish. So I think that was the key for me in learning how to speak it.
How long have you been here?
For 5 years and a bit.
Well, I have to say that's impressive. You did really well. He did. Okay, Casey, I understood how you learned Spanish, but try to explain to me, how do you learn other languages?
It's funny because obviously you guys are C1, so you have your own experience, or maybe you're high B2. But for me, the way you learn another language is immersion and with effort. For me, those are the two most important things. Of course, you can have a teacher, and there are other benefits, but the most important thing is immersion and effort. And without those two things, you are stuck. And
I agree, yeah.
Is that for you the same?
Interest, super important.
True, yeah, you have to be interested. If you guys aren't interested in this, go, you're never going to learn.
Yeah, you have to like it and just, be passionate about it.
Passionate.
Oh, passionate about it.
Be passionate about it. Irene, have you had any insightful language experiences?
What's insightful?
Insightful is... It's a joke. Insightful is where something gives you a lot of information. So an insightful language experience might be an experience you have had that has been really relevant and interesting and given you a lot. Have you had one of them?
Something similar. At least it was something that made me think and made me react different in the future.
Differently in the future. It made me react differently in the future.
Thanks. So I was in the classic language exchange that I'm sure you all tried. And I found an American girl, and I was talking to her. And it was at the very beginning of the conversation. And I didn't understand something. And then I asked, "Can you repeat, please?" And then she rolled her eyes at me. She was like, and I only asked once. And I was like, seriously? Like, how rude? But I felt so bad because of that it taught me how to be nicer to people who doesn't speak the language. And,
To people who don't speak the other language.
Right. Yeah.
That's really interesting. So you were treated badly or impatiently by someone, and that has allowed you to treat other people with more empathy and patience.
Yeah. Also, that might be a different topic, but I think it's the right moment to bring it up. Like, people might not have the same motivation to speak languages. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I mean, I speak Spanish because not only do I live here, but it's an absolute obsessive passion of mine. And so I'm really, really motivated. I love being corrected. I love all the experiences. But I think for many people, their motivation is more utilitarian. They just want to be able to get by. They just want to be able to speak it, to do some basic things, like go to the shop, have a conversation. But they don't care about really reaching a higher level of understanding. They just want it for a basic task, let's say. And as for my insightful experience, for me, the most insightful thing has been what language can do to your brain. Because I was monolingual 5 years ago. I only spoke one language. And now 5 years later, I speak two. And so for me, the most insightful thing about language is that it can open so much of a world, a complete and utter fabulous world of music and understanding, and you meet new people who are different somehow. They're like English people in the Spanish context. They're like English people, but they're Spanish. Do you know what I mean? Like, humans are so different, and the language and culture really affects the way that they see the world.
It does, I totally agree, and it's beautiful.
It's really good. Well, thank you again for being a part of this advanced listening course. We've spoken about our language experiences, which I think are quite different. Mine's, I suppose, more immersion, and Irene has been films.
Yeah.
And I hope that you take something from this. We've had some corrections from Irene, which is really, really good. I've corrected her on a few counts. And we've had some fantastic expressions, which you can see in the blog, which is somewhere around, okay? Thank you, and I'll see you next time.